he rolled a -4. He doesn't have the athletics skill, and the wall essentially, because of the speeds you're moving, essentially had an attack roll. So it would have been like borderline fatal if I actually used that roll. So
legs fly off.
Maybe we should just go with it.
Gosh.
Teach Russell to maybe have some athletics next time.
Next time you'll know better.
Hey, Stubbs.
Okay, we'll keep rolling. I'm gonna cook as I go. So.
All right. So, like, I don't know how involved you'll end up being, Heidi, since you're gonna be.
I think I will be. I'll just be like slightly distracted.
Yeah. Okay. So just.
Just like me, only I get distracted by shiny things.
Yeah.
And by sarcastic remarks.
So yeah, basically, you guys, when I say you were falling for a long time, I mean you were falling for over 5 minutes. So.
All of us should be dead.
So, like, you know, it's like those rolls were basically for your ability to, like, you know, stay away from smacking into each other or the walls for that whole 5-minute duration.
I had 5. I was excited.
It is pretty taxing work, like, to not smash into anything over 5 minutes, or like over 5 minutes of falling.
Except for John. Bam, 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 bam. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
Should I just keep doing this, or?
Huh?
The other trick-or-treaters. I'll just take this.
Yeah.
So what's up?
Maybe we should head downstairs and then we're gonna...
Hi, little girl. Do you want any candy?
Who knows? We'll figure it out.
Say thank you. You're welcome. No.
So, yeah, after falling 5 minutes, you just sort of abruptly stop in the air. And, like, with none of the jerk that you would expect from a sudden stop after that kind of fall, you just...
death.
Yeah, like, you know, it's like that kind of jerk really should, like, the G-forces should essentially just flatten you. But, you just kind of slow to a stop, like, you know, and just kind of hang there in midair for a second, and then just sort of drop gently to the ground. And, it is very, very hot. And you... Like, it's a little bit dark, but you can kind of see that there's a door in the room. It's rusted.
Doom?
Huh?
Doom? Okay. It's gonna be space zombies again. I know it.
Hopefully Daniel's getting all this.
Are you getting it, Daniel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at the portal of Doom, essentially. Like the game Doom.
Yeah.
Got a record of your earnings.
Yeah, Daniel, you guys fell for about 5 minutes straight, came to an abrupt stop without any of the serious effects you would expect from that, then gently dropped to the floor, and it's very hot, and you see a rusted door. Oh dear is about the right response.
Because don't they have a kitchen table? Maybe we should just sit there.
Yeah, we can go in there. If we...
Easier for you.
You want a table?
Well, I sit at the desk all day.
I mean, it's more comfortable here, but...
Yeah. Oh, that felt great. Okay.
Yeah. Should we wait on Daniel, or should we just...
Okay.
Like, we can hold off until Daniel is a little more available to...
Oh, so good.
So that I don't end up having to, like, either yell everything loud enough for him to hear or, like, recap stuff.
Oh man. love how like what we thought was gonna be the main thing was just like, yeah, good job. Now let's begin.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be the main goal.
Yeah. Like I said, this is like a 5-twist session where like I keep throwing twists at you guys.
What a twist.
What a twist.
And then Shyamalan, what a twist.
Yeah. Twists like the hospital is under paramilitary guard and quarantined.
And we probably have face on. Sweet, now we start again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so
Doom portal.
like it's like you are like it is very hot here, there is a rusted door, and that's where you're at.
Can I use my cybernetic implants to like scan the door for any kind of weird stuff going on?
Yeah, you can.
Cause that big rusted door kind of screams something's gonna explode or something.
Or
So you don't really get any particular readings off of it that you're at least that you're familiar with.
Okay.
What you do get is that like just very, very outdated systems like that you haven't seen, that your grandfather hadn't seen, like the like
Woo! Back to the 2014.
America.
Okay, well, do we go in or?
Is everyone okay? John.
My legs!
And he
They're
got
touching my
a
head.
scar, right? That's what happened.
No, I re-rolled for him, so he got a better roll.
He's essentially the omnipresent one in this, so. So, he's kind of just like.
Alternatively, if we don't, I could have just said like he hit his head on like one of you or something as you went down, got
Yeah, you
knocked
said
out.
you were gonna knock him out, right?
I might as well. Like he didn't want me to, but I might as well just because he left. So
Man, I
Screw
swear,
it.
oh, I'm gonna be like incapacitated because I'm sleep deprived. Plus, I have to carry John around.
yeah,
I'm screwed.
you just leave John here.
Should we just
Come back for you.
I just thought, should we just keep him awake?
Yeah, we can. I'm just.
Poor Donnie. You died of a heart attack from overexertion and lack of sleep. So, should we just go in? So is it just like a room and then the door?
I mean, if that's the only thing we can do, might as well. Gotta get out of this place.
Yeah, you're basically just at the bottom of a shaft, and there's a door, and there around you is just like.
Okay.
There is something here, like you can tell that there is, like the room you're in is made of some kind of metal, and the shaft for quite a ways up is metal, like while there was raw rock open to it, the shaft is metal for a good, like as far up as you can see from here at least.
Okay. Well,
We're in a giant metal tube.
pretty much. It's literally a shaft and at the bottom it is.
And
Well, if everyone's okay, we don't have many options.
Rosie is doing some calculations in her head, and like after a few seconds, she turns to you and says, "It's like at the rate that we were falling on the moon, like with the moon's gravity and the amount of time we were falling, like I'd say we're at least 300 kilometers down. Like
And we survived.
that's like 510 miles ish, like that here.
Well,
Let's see, how far across?
No, 500 kilometers, about 310 miles down.
Okay,
Like you're
that makes a bit more sense.
other way. Like I was just like,
well.
300 miles down.
Looks
And
like
the moon is approximately 150 miles across.
yeah.
We popped out the other side.
She just says, like at least based on what I was taught in school, it's like where we are, we have to be just barely above the partial melt zone of the core of the moon.
Awesome.
oh boy.
Well, I mean, if we can't climb out, we can't float out.
Well, I mean, do you feel like climbing approximately 310 miles?
No, not at all. That's what I'm saying. We can't climb out, so might as well.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
What's behind door number 1?
time to progress.
Yeah.
Alright, let's bust the door down.
All right. So the door actually opens pretty easily, in spite of being as rusty as,
Oh, goody.
as it looks.
Conserve my
It's
energy.
it's clearly been opened recently. Like somebody else has been down here, and But as you walk in, you kind of recognize, at least Donnie, you recognize this. You recognize that this is a thermal generation station of a sort that hasn't been used in hundreds of years.
Awesome.
Like, this was probably built by some of the first settlers on the moon.
Huh.
And,
So like geothermic.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's just kind of, it's not in great condition. It's fallen out of maintenance probably since the discovery of more efficient, less volatile methods of producing energy. So it's kind of in disrepair, and it's very hot. It shouldn't be this hot inside a thermal generation station because the hull should be able to absorb the heat and convert it. So it's clearly not operating at 100%. It's operating at enough that you are not being roasted alive, though.
That's good.
So.
No, we're at, survival level.
If more trick-or-treaters come, you guys mind giving them some candy? And they can take 2 or 3 pieces apiece and bring it.
Chris, that doesn't mean you.
That's a jazz.
You're just like,
Trick-or-treaters, not friends of the family.
Chris is just like, trick-or-treat.
I'll go out and knock, I promise. Trick-or-treat. 5 minutes later. Trick-or-treat.
Yeah, you're familiar with what the station does. You're not really familiar with the layout, though.
Okay.
You just.
So can I, let's see. Is that like the only thing in the room that we can see?
Yeah, I mean, it's from where you've stepped into. It's basically just like a corridor. There are doors and hallways leading off to different parts of this power generation base. So
Okay, this terrifies me just a little bit.
yeah. The lights are not working 100%, so it is pretty dark in here.
Oh, goody.
There's enough light for you to see, but it's still pretty dim, and some of them are kind of flickering a little bit, but it's like, just kind of, they're just in disrepair. So.
Well, let's go through the door, I guess. If we don't see like if we don't have like a control panel, let's just go through. Oh yeah, so the door opens. No.
Yeah. This is like what I've been telling you is after you've opened the door and gone in to look. So like you.
I was gonna say we've already gone through.
Okay,
that.
so
you're just in a corridor.
He's already walking down the side doors, man.
Yeah. So yeah, there are just a bunch of doors on either side, and like about halfway down the length of the corridor, there are other hallways that you can head down. You don't really know where any of them lead because you don't really know how these kind of stations work because they just haven't been used in a few hundred years.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could access it, but there's probably no way to plug into it and find out the layout of the.
It's all very outdated technology, like centuries outdated. So.
Like trying to use a Morse code.
Kind of like use a USB on a little 5-pin connector.
It's kind of like trying to use your iPad to access the data on like an abacus. It's like
Fair enough. I can
Okay.
relate to that.
or just like, where's the hard drive on this abacus?
I know this does something.
Yeah.
Hello, Abacus. Turn on.
You got calculation.
Yeah.
So should we just walk down the hall and see what every door has, or?
There's kind of nothing else to do but wander
Okay,
around.
sweet. Let's just go door by door and see what's in and figure out from there. Sound good, guys? Okay, so we get to the first door.
Also, I should mention that it is very cramped in here. Like, it's really not very big. It's kind of like, imagine a submarine. It's really close quarters because, yeah, like, because when you build a station this deep, you don't really want to dig out too much space, so
Yeah.
it is kind of cramped.
We've all learned from Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft tainted us all.
It's just like the settlers on the moon dug too deep and too greedily.
Except for
Fine,
fools.
But yeah, so yeah, you can start checking doors. Like most of the stuff you see is just like old dusty equipment that you have no real idea what its purpose is.
It's a button. Don't touch it.
Some of it's clearly damaged. There's one door that you can't even open because as soon as you go to touch it, it almost burns you just getting close to it. So like, it's pretty clear that whatever chamber is beyond that door is collapsed completely. Like, and so there's Like, there are a couple of doors like that are clearly just totally collapsed, and you can't get through them.
Awesome. So it's pretty much holding back the lava.
Yeah, essentially.
That's reassuring.
One of those kinds of doors towards the end of the hallway is actually, like, you can tell that the heat insulation on it is pretty bad because the door is actually glowing a little bit, so...
Well, let's keep moving.
And you pretty much explore the whole place and don't find much of any importance or anything really until you get to the second to last room down the right side corridor. And like when you approach that one, instead of opening it, the door opens in front of you on its own.
Oh,
And it's dark inside. So you can't, like, there are no lights in there. The only light that you see is what bleeds in from the corridors, and it's pretty dim. You only see a couple of feet in from that.
Well, can Donnie use his optics and see what's in there?
Yeah, you can.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do that.
So,
If there's anything scary wandering around.
Like the alien.
like,
Like the alien.
so yeah, you activate your optics, and you don't really see anything immediately. Like, it's still, like, it's so dusty down here that it kind of interferes with your optics to a certain extent. You can see a little better with them than you could without, but
Slippery, rough.
it's like, but it's pretty dusty. So.
Okay. Well,
So, does it keep going down? The room that opened up by itself.
Yeah, it's a larger room than most of the others
Okay,
that
so
you've been in.
let's go in and see what happens.
Alright.
find any kind of flashlights.
Yeah, you haven't found any kind of
Can I open up my
flashlights.
fingertip? Ouch.
Donnie, phone home.
Throw
Donnie,
back to the technology.
you need to sleep.
I've only been awake for 12 months, weeks, days, hours.
What's time?
I'm so lost.
So we go into the room.
Alright. So, you go into the room, and as soon as everybody steps in, the door slams behind you.
Oh,
I'm
Now you're all in this room in pitch black.
David! We just wanted to heal a baby. I didn't sign up for this.
Like, only Donnie can even see enough to be able to feel his way around the room. The rest of you are just kind of, like, it's way too dark for any of you to do anything.
I'm also terrified. Okay, so is there any kind of a light switch or anything that I can find to illuminate the situation?
What up, Ching?
Like, you look around for it, and you do eventually stumble across, like, you know, there's some kind of system, like a light switch that you can tell there's some frayed wires and stuff leading from where it's supposed to go. And you can fix it. It's not that difficult. It's
Okay, well let's fix it then.
Yeah.
Let me get it up and running.
Someone at the door.
It's like,
somebody just lurking.
hey!
Holy cow, some familiar faces.
Hey, what's up, Andrew?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well.
Good.
Oh, you
Thank
take
you.
like the one tomorrow?
Want to take another one? Don't
Yeah,
take two.
buddy! Gotta have as long as you want.
Happy Halloween.
Good to see you, man.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Who was
Recognize
that?
him.
Oh, a guy from
Andrew
our ward.
Archibald.
Yeah, Andrew Archibald. He just lives corner of Smith Park.
Wow, I haven't seen Andrew in years.
Yeah, he has a goatee. He pretty much looks like himself, but with a goatee. Short hair.
Interesting.
Anyway, let's go. I guess he hooked up with the girl who was, I said extra in summary, my junior year. And when I say hooked up, I mean not in all literal sense, it's hooked up.
I think they're married now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, it's-
so I repair the system, get some light action going on. Even if it's a blinking diode, it's better than nothing.
So the light comes up, and it is
Self-destruct.
pretty. It's pretty similarly dim to the ones outside of this room, but it is enough to see by, and it is enough to see that Leontine is in the room with you.
Dang it! Where's my phone? Turn it on.
And they just, it's like, it's so good to see all of you again.
Can we all just shoot him at once? And
No, he already, I mean, he died before, he's back, so. Okay, let's figure out what's going on here. I mean, we saw you die.
He's like, yeah, I suppose you did. It's
are you a clone?
a minor inconvenience.
Sorry, I haven't had much sleep lately.
Isn't it fascinating how the chaos of the universe generates countless eddies of order everywhere it goes? If it hadn't been for your little chance stumble into our operations at the research base, our paths may never have crossed. You might have just gone about your tiny little lives without consequence. But now, well, we have taken notice of you. You have become part of our struggle now. You've drifted like so much debris into the gravity of our planet, and you don't have the energy to escape our orbit. Trick or treat.
It's terrifying. Part of their system now.
I look familiar too. This is weird. We're getting old.
Well, duh.
It just
We're gonna be dead
it's
in
like, yes, so...
like 7 years.
It's like, yeah, you are part of our world, you don't have the gravity to escape the energy to escape our orbit. And...
Part of your world, what are you talking about? They're in the moon.
So, are you
Oh!
Are you done with? Wait,
No!
Wait, what?
It wasn't a shaft we fell down, it was like a time teleportation.
No, it was a shaft.
Oh,
You're just very tired.
good, I was gonna say, man, that would be terrifying. You're part of our world, and we went through the shaft and into another shaft, and now we're on some other world in the middle of Yizong territory.
That never happened anymore.
I know, that's right.
Chewy, hashtag Chewy lives.
I know, he just, it's like, you know, it's like, I have been keeping an eye on you over the last few days, and I brought you here for a purpose. Well, actually, dual purposes. First, the crystal that John took from the research base. I would very much like it back.
Hey, go ahead and take one too. Very nice costume.
You want the crystal back? There's a problem with that. The crystal's been infused into our ship.
Then I'll take the ship.
I don't think so.
It's like, well, we'll judge those problems later, won't we?
You're gonna have to kill me first, and I know you can't do it. I shouldn't say that. I'm tired.
Oh, and do pray tell, what's the second demand?
It's like, it's not so much a demand as I think that it would be interesting to utilize you. There's some interesting tests we've been wanting to run, and the things that you've been
Plural
exposed
you
to.
or singular you? Like y'all or just you singular version?
All of us.
Okay, good.
Those who run experiments on us.
It's just like you have been exposed to some unique circumstances that may make it interesting. We might find some different outcomes with you than some of our other less fortunate test subjects.
That doesn't instill much confidence in me. No. Am I the only one talking here? I feel like I'm by myself.
Well, I thought okay, it's good.
I'm eating candy over here. What's candy? Come on, man. Somebody else start talking. That's going crazy. He's going to eat us. Experiments on our brains.
So, what's this quarantine and just basically what's all going on?
Well, I think that's need to know information. I'm not entirely convinced that you need to know, considering you're about to be test subjects.
No. I'm no friggin' test subject.
Rosie, what do you say?
What do you say?
Trick or treat?
That works too.
This is going to be an interesting recording we're going to have from this.
Okay, so where were we? Evil dialogue. 163 minutes need to know.
Says, I suppose it doesn't hurt me to indulge you a little bit at least.
Oh, go on. Evil men love to die. Love to monologue.
It says, well, you see, it's like there were a few staff members and patients at this hospital that mysteriously disappeared. And, well, let's just say that some of our tests didn't go as they should have.
So is this pretty much like trying to get the space zombie thing again, or what?
Oh no, we are far past that now. We're much more interested in perfecting that technology than repeating it. And I think we've come much closer, and I think we will come much closer with the tests that will have your data.
My test data would be skewed because I've been through so much radiation.
It's like, and
Experiment on that first.
like while he's talking to you, his eyes kind of lock onto Sam, and he sort of does a double take and looks at Sam and is just like, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Can one of us just roll and shoot him in the head?
Didn't work last time.
Well, you know.
He didn't have a head left.
It's just like, there have been some interesting developments with you since the last time we met, haven't there, young lady? It's like, perhaps it would be expedient. I don't necessarily need the rest of you, but you might be interesting for our purposes.
Well, if no one else will do it, I'll be happy to roll and shoot him.
Alright, you can make a roll. And Rosie also tries at
Okay.
the same time.
Wanna get on the fun? We're all gonna roll and try and shoot him.
Can I use a crystal and
Like shoot it into
have
his
the
chest.
crystal bind him up?
Just
You
shoot
can
him in the
try.
chest!
Like,
Okay.
you can definitely
Shoot him in
try.
the chest!
Wait, where did my thing go?
I'm too tired and too scared to shoot somebody else.
Oh, you should just roll, and then John should roll too. We can all just shoot at once. Okay. I got plus 3, so I have +4 shoot.
What would it be that I would fight? So I only got
Yeah, I
2,
would
I guess.
rule that as a fight.
We're all just gonna shoot at him at once.
You do have to spend a fate point to use a crystal for something like this, so.
I got 0 shoot. Because I told you I was gonna shoot somebody.
You do have adrenaline burn also.
Well, I'm not afraid of that though.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
You might run
We
into
will just
track
say
again.
you gave me a fate point because I know you have 3, so you're down to 2. And so,
Yeah. Plus that would be awesome. Where the
Yeah.
crystals go around him and then he gets shot in the
Yeah.
It's one of those like, I don't want to do it. Like that scene in
We should have John shoot him too.
yeah, John's also shooting.
Okay, so I had a +4. And Daniel's not rolling. What? So I guess tell us the fates.
Yeah. Let's see. And wow, it's really a shame that you guys rolled so well because it does nothing.
I knew it. Oh, I knew it.
Like at least for the gunshots. Like the gunshots, all pretty much as soon as they leave your guns, they just stop in midair because the time is still stopped.
But the crystals, they
Yeah.
have to.
The crystals, on the other hand, do actually go towards him, but they they kind of form in a bubble around him because there's he has some kind of shielding that's preventing them from actually binding them. And he's kind of obscured inside the crystal bubble by something you can't see, but he does, the crystals do crack and shatter almost immediately. And he just says, I'm afraid I have rather more experience with these materials than you do, young lady. It will take a little more effort than that to actually cause me any difficulties. It's but it is very interesting. You confirmed my suspicions, and now that just makes it that much more interesting. It's I will have much more fun experimenting on you than any of these. And he just kind of waves his hand at the rest of you.
I'm not an experiment. Well.
Yeah, that's arguable.
That could be taken this way.
it's like a valiant effort. If like, it's like, but for this little temporal anomaly we're experiencing that may have actually caused me some damage.
Go ahead and take tea. Have a good night.
Says, however, it may not have actually caused me as much damage as you would have hoped, because you have to understand I'm a careful man. After the circumstances of last time, when you were able to dispose of me rather too easily, I have taken precautions.
Yeah, like Fort Field and stuff. Yeah, we should have shot. I'll tell you.
Han shot first.
Everybody knows it. There's tonight.
Well,
It's just like, since you don't seem to be willing to be agreeable in this circumstance, and I really am a busy man, I suppose we should cut to the chase.
he's good. Kind of an awkward moment now. On all parties. Hey, go ahead and take a tea.
What do you guys say?
Have a good night. So, what's the chase?
He's like, it is quite simply this, and he begins unbuttoning his shirt. Not like that! It's like he begins, he's just a Chippendale.
I'm sure there are good hostels on the moon.
It's just like the lights start flashing, a disco ball descends from the ceiling, and he just starts like stripping. Like, no. He just
Well,
Shoot again.
no, he
I'll shoot myself.
it's like as he unbuttons his shirt, you can see that some kind of strange electronic apparatus is pretty much covering about half of his chest, and like just almost completely encasing him.
so
And there's like, you can't tell what it is, but there are some kind of strange things just like around his sternum.
so you like the crazy doctor wanting to perfect humanity?
It's like, well, I think we went over that last time, yes. It's like, however, last time we had, as I said, some difficulties. We were unable to control our test subjects. This time, however, with this apparatus, I should be able to actually control the biomatter. And he activates some kind of button or something on the apparatus, and you see the things, like sort of a series of plungers around his sternum, like, which are pretty clearly needles injecting something into his heart.
Can we get the tubes?
Like, there aren't any tubes, it's all encased. So, but,
I'm really glad I didn't use my adrenaline burn.
Yeah.
and he almost immediately starts mutating, like, visibly. You can see things moving. You can see things moving under his skin.
He's mutating.
And, however, he's not, like, mutating in the way that the biomutant you experienced before did. He instead, like, you see things moving under his skin, and they eventually start to break through. Although it's not really bloody, because it just kind of stops. Like, he's not bleeding as it happens, and they're just kind of slowly covering where his flesh was, and you just see bone, sort of smooth and yellowish bone plates that almost look like teeth. Like, just big teeth sort of slowly encase his body, and he grows pretty significantly in size. And,
Oh my gosh, it's a mutant thrag.
it's like, and his arms and legs kind of split into four, so he has four arms,
A
like,
giant man-eating spider.
like 4 arms and 4 legs. And he's kind of like a, imagine if there was a centaur, except instead of the body of a horse, it was the body of, like, a bony spider on the bottom.
Oh, David, why would you put that in my head? I hate spiders.
It's like, and his...
Eating creepy is gonna eat you.
Yeah, it's like his head is also slowly encased by these bone, like, tooth plate things.
Oh gosh.
And at the ends of,
Serum.
at the ends of each hand, like, he, instead of having regular hands, he has sort of these, like, tri-claws. And
Well, that's creepy.
like, he...
Yeah, I wish you could have gotten a picture for this, like on the...
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
after.
I'm gonna have to try
Yeah, that would have been a spoiler, buddy.
Yeah.
He's like, it looks like this.
I really wish I...
What the heck does that have to do with the baby?
I really wish I had a picture to like put on there of this, but
Photoshop.
you know, you
Yeah,
guys
it's
don't
okay.
need the nightmares, so.
It's already a nightmare. I just gotta put it on paper when it stop being a nightmare.
Yes. Your imagination is far scarier than any picture could be.
Oh yes.
It's like, and then as you, like, his claws open, and like, you kind of see some of the bone plates on his palms, like, separate, and, gun barrels slide out of his wrists. He's just like,
We are so screwed.
it's like, as you can see, my systems have been augmented somewhat. It's like, his voice is considerably changed now. It's stranger, like, deeper, and sort of...
It's basically the devil incarnate.
It's
you know?
like deeper, distorted, much stranger sounding than before. And it's like, and it kind of sounds like it's coming from like you're hearing it from inside a cave almost.
Oh gosh.
And he just says, he's like, and if you thought that was impressive, you haven't seen the half of my systems yet.
We're not into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
To see your other systems.
It's just like, it's like, your banter would be much more effective if it was witty.
Battle of wits. Too bad you came unprepared.
You want some candy?
It's just like, you really shouldn't come to a battle of wits unarmed.
Notice I am keeping my mouth shut over here.
You're way too tired.
Nothing keeping me alive is knowing I have an adrenaline burn going. Get ready, you know.
Yeah, so, like, and one of the, like, tooth bone plates on its chest kind of side to side, and you see a... Yeah, one of the tooth bone plates on its chest kind of slides aside, and you see the barrel of a rocket launcher extend.
So are you trying to kill us or are you just threatening us to show off?
It's just like, oh, trying to kill you is a bit of a moot point. I suppose that the actual doing of the act will be inevitable.
We
given
get it. Yours
moments.
is bigger than ours. What do you want?
It's like, I don't really at this point want anything from any of you except for Sam. It's like the rest of you are at this point expendable.
So wait, why do you want Sam so badly?
Crystals.
Yeah.
It's like, if I couldn't get the crystal that John took from us, I can at least get the crystals that are within our friend Sam here. And then after you've all been disposed of, I can also recover the crystals in your ship and have those advantages as well.
So what should we do now?
So,
Push me down a flight of stairs!
Can
Okay, there's no stairs. Dang it.
any of my awesome alien stuff do anything?
you can try it. You don't really know what good it would do, but you can try it.
Huh? Maybe I should do like a...
I want a blunt force drama in his face.
Should I do like a...
That makes it work. Never mind.
Should I do maybe like a like a reconnaissance to kind of like increase my like looking at him, studying him, seeing if like there's like any weaknesses to psychicness to like...
Yeah, you can, like,
You
examine.
can try.
Yeah.
That
He
does
has
seem
started
like-
slowly advancing towards you with like a really unpleasant, like sort of unnatural clicking sound with his walk.
Oh gosh. So...
It's just like, it is the sound of bone plates clicking against each other, and it is very unsettling.
Okay, you guys got candy duty again. Looks like there's more coming.
Do you think what do you think would be better, the reconnaissance or the resonance?
He's not gonna help you.
Well, let's see.
Well, and just to like know what they do better.
Want to take two?
Here you go, Jack's can take it over.
Excuse me.
Have a good night.
Alright, I turned away from it to cover my mouth and everything.
Cool. So
I would say reconnaissance would be most useful to you at this moment.
Okay.
And probably if you want to spend another fate point beyond the fate point you have to spend to activate Wave or Reconnaissance, I would say you could invoke, like, everyone and everything has a tell to see if you can find any, like, you know, any kind of weaknesses.
Okay, I'll do that. Because we don't have much. So 2 fate points?
Yeah, 2 fate points. Throw them in here.
Hey, roll.
Yeah, roll for, let's see, notice, I believe. But do it in a minute after.
You go ahead and take 2 or 3. Go ahead and take like 2. I'm just visiting here, so.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
We got one more coming slowly. Come on, Sarah, come on! I wonder what this is called. Peanuts. Oh, you have to expect? Yay, your peanuts! Go.
Go ahead and grab a couple.
How's it going?
Have a good night.
It's a good thing we got another 2 steps in front.
Okay, so I'm doing the reconnaissance and everyone has a tell to see, try and find weaknesses.
Yeah, so use your notice roll, and because of the reconnaissance and your invocation of that aspect, you get a +5 on top of your skill to this.
Oh, nice.
So,
So my alien skills are going like,
yeah, like, what is your notice skill anyway? It
Nope.
is,
one.
it's 1, but still, that's a +6 to whatever you rolled just now, so
We're all good.
+1. Oh wait, no.
yeah, that's a 0, so, but you still get a +6.
Okay.
Like, so, like, you can see that there are a few, like, spots between the bone plates where there might be some vulnerabilities.
Mhm.
Without guns, you're not entirely sure how that'll be useful to you, but they're, like, you can also see that, like, there is something in his eyes which are still just human enough that you can read, though. It's like there is something scared. Like, there is something, like, all is not right here. Like, and Leontine is very aware of it, or mutant Leontine is very aware that something is going wrong that he was not expecting.
The crystal's taking over the brain.
Okay. So should I like try and extort that?
Oh, one more thing. You also notice that some of the wires from that harness are hooked into his temples.
Oh, okay. So if we like pull the wire, maybe you could like.
Somebody else is controlling it.
Oh.
That would make sense.
Okay. So, so he's coming toward me.
Yeah, he's coming towards everyone.
Okay. So I'll start laughing. So it's Clementine.
Leontine.
So Clementine.
Oh my darling! Oh darling!
Oh my darling Clementine. Why are you so scared?
And he blinks. You can see that, like, you know, he's a little taken aback that you've noticed it, because he prides himself on being a hard man to read, even if he was entirely human. And but he kind of quickly regains his composure, and it's like, I have no real reason to be scared in this situation, but I think that you might be projecting a little bit.
Projecting, what do you mean?
Projecting your fear.
No, I pretty much know I'm gonna die, but like in your eyes, there's real fear behind there. And
You know, Rosie is kind of slowly backing away, and she is kind of like pulling on your shoulder, like trying not to make it notice, but like on the back of your shoulder, pull it, just like, you know, like, and when you kind of glance back at her, she kind of just like nods her head back towards the door, like the doorway, and like she, like sort of very quickly glances, and you can see that she's noticed where the door control is, so she can get the door open.
like the control for
Back out into the corridors.
Okay.
So.
Back out the way we came? Yeah.
So do we run for it to the door, or do we distract him, or?
It's up to you what you guys want to do. She's kind of looking to you to make the call, but she's just pointing out that like you do have options here. Like so,
I guess I can try and distract him.
you know how do you intend to do that?
Just keep trying to talk, push the fear thing. Try and...
Yeah, you can do that. I would say now if you are pushing that, let's see. You do not have the skill, so it won't, but I'm trying to remember the name of the skill. I have to look it up to... It's the opposite of rapport. It's when you're trying to, like...
Oh, make someone think you're like a baddie.
Provoke. It's the provoke skill. That's what I'm going. So you are...
Could that fall under deceive?
Let me look at your sheet. I think you might actually have something that would... I mean, the deceit at this point, like you're not lying to him about anything, so it'd have to be provoked because you are kind of trying. You're trying to goad him, so it would have to be provoke.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put that on my list because I like to do that. But you're right. So.
I mean, you can still provoke even without having the skill, you just won't have a skill bonus to it. Like, but on the other hand, it probably won't be too hard to provoke him because you've already kind of gotten to him a little
I
bit.
guess I'll roll for provoking him. Can I just kind of motion for them to like, you know, like with my eyes to kind of like go for it?
Yeah, you can.
Cool, I guess I'll roll for that. Oh man, -2.
Like you... Like you're still getting to him. Like it's. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a situational bonus because you've already gotten under his skin a little bit. So like, we'll just say that you created an advantage with your previous roll, and that we'll give you a free invocation on that. So like he's a little shaken, basically, getting a free invocation on that. You can either just bump that up to a flat 0, or you can re-roll entirely with that free invocation.
I'll try and re-roll.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah, good enough for under these circumstances. So you are kind of rattling him. You can tell he's getting angry now, and as you see him getting angry, you can also see that the angrier he gets, the more he is losing control. Like
of his human part, or
like he is like the human part of him is losing control of the now mutated alien part. And that, like, you know, it's like the systems that he had in place are clearly not sufficient, and he's losing control. And he doesn't even answer you. He just kind of like yells sort of incoherently, and just fires one of the rockets out of his chest. But it's not actually. He didn't bother to aim. So instead,
is everyone else moving to the door right now as this is going on?
Yeah, like it goes up to the ceiling, and it hits the ceiling. And everything, like, first you feel the shock wave of the explosion of the rocket, and then you feel just this intense heat begin to wash through the room because now he damaged the heat absorption hole doing this. And let me see. Okay, so
You're incinerated, Chris. Good job.
Like, everyone else is already running, and Rosie like grabs you by the back of the shirt and just flings you back through the now open door, dives through it herself, and slams it shut on the other side.
Trick or treat.
Have a good night.
I think there might be about to be another one, but I'm not sure.
Cool, so...
Like, anyway, Rosie has just flung you through the door, slammed the door shut on the other side now that all of you are out, and she just, like, shoots the panel to hold like the control panel on the door. It's like, well, I don't know if that'll hold him, but run.
I think she loves you too. So we're running.
Yeah. So as you run, you immediately start hearing banging against the door from inside, and like just sort of a scream of muffled rage coming through it.
The lava didn't kill him.
And
It's good to know.
yeah. You're like, it's not quite melted outside. Like you're just above the zone of partial melt, so like it just let in heat, which is very dangerous still. But apparently it is not sufficient heat to hurt him that badly. So.
You want more candy?
Okay, fine, thanks.
Okay, I'll take it. Take a whole bowl, Lily.
Okay.
Sorry, all my stuff is on the couch. You guys can really move it and sit down.
Oh, I'm good for now. I've been sitting all day, so.
There we go.
David's stories get me so stressed out. Like,
Oh, did you find your
How's
girl?
it going?
Like, there's like this massive list, like fancy list. So I am on this one. Yum.
Okay, dude. Oh, can't feel my arm anymore.
yeah, head back to my mom.
We have more kids coming here pretty soon, so she can.
I'm gonna wash my hands. You got lollipop all over my hands.
Oh. So did you guys make up all these papers and stuff too?
David did.
I mean, the papers come from the role-playing system we're using.
Oh, okay. So you didn't like just totally draw it up yourself?
No, they're just,
Well, that would, I'm sure.
Our stuff is really everywhere.
You guys would do it.
yeah.
You having fun over there, Lily?
You sorting them out?
Yep, she's sorting
over
them.
here. Raven's over here.
Here, Lily, how about you play with your candy? I got a whole bag of it for you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. I'm just trying to make my stuff disappear. So there. Daddy!
We're just playing in the candy, yes.
I went and drove around the block so that
Warm block.
people could gawk at me.
Did you like, did you
You
turn
did
it back
your
on?
cape out so it would fly in the
Uh-huh.
wind?
I tried doing that on my bicycle one time. I got caught taking the wheel.
Oh, boo! Oh, my goodness.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, man, that's good.
Who's that famous actress who died? Like her scout got caught in a
Oh, no.
carriage and like.
No, I don't remember. I know who you're talking about.
Well, she's like super famous and like.
Yeah, I've heard the story, but I can't remember who that is.
Lily, you're making a mess
Makes me
with
think
your
of the-
candy over here.
Never seen the whole thing of the Final Destination when they get stuck in the instructor. I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, was that your head? Honey, are you okay?
Did you get hit in the head? Did someone open the door?
No, she fell over.
Oh, she fell over. That's all.
You see that thing on the internet, like the little girl, like in the
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
it's like
companion-
a
the-
or something? I don't know.
what are they called on Despicable Me? The Minion.
Yeah.
Minion costume, and she's like jumping down, and you just see like, BAM! I'm okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, let's see what kind of candy you got for me today. You want to see the candies? Did you throw this over here too?
Remember, we'd always, when I take the kids trick-or-treating this when they're little, and spill out their whole bag of stuff. And I said, okay, you have to pay taxes. And it has to be chocolate. I'd make them pay me for taking them out.
Yeah, you have to say that it has to be chocolate so they don't just pawn off the Necco wafers on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's fun, going trick or treating.
Necco wafer or hard peppermint candies. Blah. Those are my least favorite.
Yeah. They would get peppermint. Like, those, you know, the
Yeah. And Necco wafers are just sort of like slightly sweet, compacted dust, like discs of dust. Like,
or people that only have Tootsie Rolls, like a giant thing of those tiny Tootsie Rolls.
yeah.
And then it's like, thank you.
Yeah.
My dad was one of those. He bought a giant. He's like, every kid loves these.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah, one of my friends said they had, like, when he was growing up, they had kind of a crazy guy in the neighborhood who only gave out Tootsie Rolls, and, like, he wouldn't even, like, when people would come to the door, they'd start to say trick or treat, just open the door and, like, throw Tootsie Rolls at them and shut the door again, kind of like just a weird old man that was, like, not really all there. So, he just kind of, like, was just like, Happy Halloween!
The government!
He just shouts out conspiracy theories.
Lizard people!
Yeah. The moon landing was faked!
Skull and crossbones!
Yeah. Illuminati!
Have you ever heard Danger Dolan?
You heard what?
Danger Dolan?
I think so, yeah.
He's like an Australian that does like a 10 list, and he like once did like the 10 best conspiracy theories.
I think you linked me to that, actually,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you ever heard, what was that thing that you used to listen to, honey, late at night on the radio?
Art Bell.
Art Bell. Have you ever heard Art Bell?
My dad used to listen to Art Bell all the time.
He's always talking about, you know, UFOs and
Yeah.
aliens and
Aliens!
swamp.
When I remember that stuff because when I was a kid, I watched an episode of the X-Files way too young, and developed like a UFO phobia that lasted until I was like 14. So every time Dad would be listening to Art Bell, they'd be talking about UFOs, it scared the hell out of me. I was just like, oh no.
A lot of fun episodes. Long years later.
Yeah.
Say cheese. 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 Give it to mommy. Cheese. Okay. Okay, I'm back.
So basically, we
Leontine is after us as a skeleton.
yeah, skeleton monster thing.
Yeah.
I'm imagining the thing from like the 10th Doctor when it becomes like the kind of like weird. He wants to like try and live forever.
We got a
Oh,
kid.
With the 10th Doctor, it was that guy who like invented this thing to make him young forever, but
Yeah, kind of like that.
yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm picturing right now.
just covered in like weird
Yeah.
bony armor and.
Or from the living flesh, kind of like that. The girl who transforms a little bit, not as much.
Yeah, kind of similar at least in structure.
So how is Provo treating you two?
Sure, and it's great.
Well, you look great, so I guess.
Nice weather. Especially now that it's not like the summer. Oh my gosh, it was like 100 degrees like, for a week or two straight. I think the 2 weeks that you were there, David.
Yeah, when I visited you guys, it was melting.
It is classic.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty typical.
Just go to St. George, that's...
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice. Yeah, I like
Well, I'm content with up here. We have nice, cooler summers than most places.
Ready for battle.
it. Let's do it. I'll shout. I'll shout.
So how much time do we have before feast?
So you guys are running now, but there is a bit of a question about where you're running to.
Yeah. I kind of taunted him to where he freaked out and... Well, because he was...
Scary Space Master, and you taunt him?
Well, I didn't know he was going to turn into like... But...
By the
That
way,
did give-
if you guys want some popcorn, there's plenty of popcorn.
Oh, I think I'm
down
good.
there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Good to know.
I think I'm all the eggs out from all the young food.
Yeah, we had
Feel
lots of,
free to have whatever you find.
we had lots of treats, so.
You should have seen it back there. Okay.
Yeah, so,
Somebody do a little bit.
You were so sweet.
Going in the wrong direction.
yeah. Oh well.
Getting over here.
Okay.
We'll have to edit all the trick-or-treaters out anyway to listen
That's
to
true.
it. So like that.
We're playing the game!
Let's get to it.
Okay, so we're running away from the big scary monster, stuff is collapsing around us, and we're stuck underneath this place anyway.
Yeah, and you're like 300 miles down, so it's not like there's an easy way back up. And
So-
also, not only is the place like now there is a heat rupture. It's also there's also a pressure problem because down this far you're gonna have pressure.
I've got it!
Like, so.
We need to find the jawbone of a T-Rex. We'll all climb inside of it, and we'll just throw a flare on the wall, and it'll spark and explode, and it'll melt all the ice, and we'll go shooting up like turn
What you need to do is get in a fridge.
Don't worry, I'm safe.
And so what were the weaknesses that I noticed? I did like a...
In between the platelets.
Yeah, between some of the bone plates, you could see that, and the bone plates are actually partially covering the machinery as well, but it's over the machinery where the bone platelets are kind of, I forgot to mention that before. Like, the spacing where the bone platelets are, slightly pushed apart is over the machinery with the wires running up to his head and stuff, so...
So what would happen if we disconnected where the wires going to his head?
He's already losing control. You're not so sure how much further.
That's true.
It's like, basically, it became clear in those few moments after you were provoking him that the reason for that, that equipment was supposed to be allowing his human mind to maintain control of the mutant
And
body.
you made him mad.
It's but it was already failing before you started provoking him.
Okay.
He was already losing control. It's not like
There
he
you
lost
go.
control because of you. It's just that he was losing control. You made him angry. That made it happen a little faster.
Well, I thought he was being controlled by someone. So.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I was going to try and provoke him to see who was really controlling him. But anyway,
Yeah,
doesn't matter. We're running. So.
Yeah. So, you are running in your limited amount of space to run when you hear the screeching of metal tearing and you feel a wave of heat and look back just long enough to see a very angry bony spider centaur creature screaming after you and firing with the guns out of his claws.
Take cover!
Keep running.
Okay, so we're running down the hall.
Can Daniel scan any anything to see if there's anything nearby as we're running, anything?
What are you looking
I don't know, if there's a little door panel or something that we can enter and
I mean, yeah, you can see that there are a couple of places where there are doors in the corridor that you can slam shut to at least slow him down. You can do the same thing that Rosie did with the previous door and just shut the door and shoot the...
It'd be a really good idea up until the point where we're locked in a room that we can't get out of except for one door. And there's a spider monster coming after us.
Yeah.
Oh.
Aside from that, it's a great idea.
Huh?
Yeah, aside from that, it's a great idea.
Somebody else has to get to the door. My baby.
So...
So, just because Heidi's only able to be, half paying attention, it's
I'm the further I get, the more I realize this is gonna take forever, so.
yeah.
And I have to, listen to their talk and then, give specific feedback about what they want.
Yeah.
So I can't just, listen
Yeah.
to it.
I'm just going to sort of, take partial control of Sam for the moment, just because...
I used to skip around to different parts.
Just...
I like this part because skip. I like this part because skip.
Yeah.
But that was me, and it was a very unimportant class.
But, yeah. Basically, I'm assuming you've probably pointed out the bone weakness to the others by now.
Because she can't hack him because if he has guns in him, he might have some type of.
Yeah. So.
Or would his force field be down now because he's in freak out mode and.
Time stop. The guns aren't gonna help you. But
can we check a javelin or something?
He's firing his guns and they're not helping him either.
Good point.
Time to stop them. That's why I'm not rolling to see if you guys are getting hit by bullets.
That's actually
He's just firing angrily.
And the bullets are just boom.
Yeah, it's like
Keep
yeah,
running! I don't know why I'm so scared.
I mean, the rocket worked, but I'm just going to say that that worked because it was not like it was impelled by an active force that is like fuel in the rocket.
Yeah, that would
Whereas
make
bullets
sense.
just like receive energy and go out, and
Okay.
so like I'm.
I'm down with that. Okay, so
Actually, originally I was gonna rule that like since he's not affected by the time stop, his weapons aren't either, but his like your weapons are affected.
we'd be
so-
mowed down.
I'm like, your weapons are affected, so I was like, no, that doesn't make sense. His has to have to be affected too.
Okay, so is there a way Sam can like scan it, like try and maybe hack him or something
Yeah.
with her crystal powers?
Like basically that was the thing I was going for was like to leave an opening for Sam to use one of her hacking spikes. She just has to jam it in there. Unfortunately, that means you have to get close to it. Or rather, somebody has to get close to it. You just can provide the hacking.
Since I made him, I could try and
Can I use
stab him.
the armor?
Yeah, you can. You will. No, you can't. Because
On
you
second thought.
you tried to use you used up your crystal, like all the crystal reserves you had, except like you still have enough for hacking spike, but you used up what you had trying to encase him in crystal, and since he just shattered that, you weren't able to reabsorb it. So if you'd been able to reabsorb that, you would have been able to use the armor. But
Can I have reabsorbed it then?
well, if you want to go back past the giant screaming monster into the room that is like full of unlivable heat that even he could barely survive, sure. So that's a no, basically.
Since it's my fault, he's kind of in this situation. I could try and stab
What's your
him.
athletics?
My athletics is 1.
My athletics 2, and I got battle tech. I also have physique +3.
This might be a job for
Okay,
Rosie.
you should try and like jab
Or
him.
we can let Rosie do it.
This might be a job for Rosie.
Okay, yeah.
She has the highest athletics of anyone in the group, so.
Okay, yeah. Should we tell the plan to Rosie? Okay, so we're running. I was like, hey, like I noticed like the weakness.
Like that! I haven't slept in 12 days.
It's like we can tell how tired
It's the
Donnie is
caffeine
from
patch.
the spike and the thing and the
Spike, stab, you, go! Don't stop with the spike. Spike that guy.
So does Heidi have to roll for a spike or?
No, it's
Okay.
like
Sam,
hacking
spike,
spikes.
no!
Yeah, so she can just provide the spikes, like, and she can pass it off to Rosie.
Don't trip.
Yeah, so Rosie, like, pretty much picks up what you're putting down right away, and
She's smart like that. And the rest of us not so much, but she...
so she catches the spike out of the air, like skids to a stop, just rolls into a backflip, like in an arc. And let me make sure this works. That was not correct. Okay, yeah, this works. Like, so.
Think so? I am. You else want some?
I'm good.
Sure.
I'm very happy that Rosie had a successful check just then.
I do.
Just go faster.
I'm alright.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Because if she failed, there would have been bad things in
That
store.
was a good choice, though. We use it faster than we get it.
That's the best kind.
That's a light.
Have a good night. There's vanilla tea. Sorry. Crossing genres now.
So, yeah, she made the check. You're very lucky. Like, so she just like skids to a stop, does a backflip like in an arc through the air, and just plants with her full weight against, like, just jams this like right in the perfect spot, right between the bone plates, into the machinery that is inside. And then she like kind of ducks and pushes herself back off, does a front flip, and is running right along with you guys again. Like, just like she is completely like in line with you guys.
Johnny running.
As she like passes you again, right there. What?
Please note she spent all 3 of her fate points to do this. Like, she invoked like as many things as she could.
Oh man.
And,
Hopefully we don't run the thrag.
So yeah, you guys are running, and Sam pretty much immediately just like you are now conscious of like the computer systems that are operating this thing, like that are trying sort of helping the human part of Leontine control it, and you are also able to pretty much just put a like you can make a hack check to pretty much just like jam like the systems.
Break his face internally.
And
You should attack his breathing system and make him talking.
Oh,
I can roll the check for you because
Okay.
it's just.
Okay, that's just when you know,
So yeah, you just barely manage to get because it is the systems are very unfamiliar, and you can feel you can feel the presence of this alien mind trying to encroach on your own brain, but it you manage to hold it back. You stop, the thing stops in its tracks, and you are it's not chasing you anymore at the moment. And you can tell that the systems are just out of control, and you're not sure what's going to happen next, and you don't really want to have your mind in there any longer because it's very, very dangerous and scary, and you think that you might get your mind might get invaded back, basically. Woo! So you jump out pretty quick, and Rosie slams another door, shoots out the mechanism again, and you guys, you can hear, you can feel the bass rumbling, and just, the pressure is beginning to collapse, and, you can hear the groaning of metal.
Whoa! Where you go? Go ahead and take a gun.
Yeah, the groaning of metal under stress. And the heat is, at this point, almost overwhelming. And that's when you hear the explosion. And the doors that Rosie just shut bow out. You hear this explosion, the doors that Rosie just shut and jammed, bow out 3 feet. And you're amazed that they hold enough, to contain. Just and you can tell just from your hacking spike network that the thing, that Leontine mutant is gone. It is self-destructed, essentially. Its weapon systems just kind of... And, however, that explosion left the base in even worse condition than it already was, and so it's now collapsing faster. The heat is, almost to the point that you can't even breathe at this point, and the you can hear it, parts of it collapsing. And, you do, on the upside, have a clear shot back to the shaft where you came in, but...
Yeah, where do we go from there? Well,
Is there any computers nearby it that we could try and hack? Or?
Everything is collapsing. Everything is falling apart.
Okay, well, we have to get out of here somewhere. Seems like the only accessible way to get out is that main shaft, though.
Yeah. Rosie pretty much just says, it's we pretty much don't have any other options. We don't even have one option, but that's the closest thing to an option we have.
Yep.
Oh, okay, let's
Can
run back
Sam do
there.
a little levitate thing with her crystals?
Yeah, is there anything I can do with that antiquated machine sitting there?
No, the machinery is melting almost at this point, all the machinery that is in here. And so you get into the defunct elevator shaft and look up 310 miles to the surface. And Rosie just kind of looks around and shuts the door. Just looks at you and shrug. I don't know.
Probably what I would have done. Perhaps sleep deprived. So I didn't.
And so the heat even out here is overwhelming, and you can just hear the crumpling and groaning of the base just collapsing in on itself under the weight of the moon on top of it.
Is there any way we could figure out what force helped cushion us and try and reverse that or something, or
Yeah, is there anything that
to shoot us up
from dying?
at least a bit? I don't know, analyzing something, because there's a force there that helped cushion us. So is there any way that we could figure out what that was, and that maybe Sam looked with her?
There is absolutely nothing that any of you sense or see in this room. This is an empty shaft with a door. There's and the heat is getting so bad. Again, you can see the door that Rosie just shut starting to glow, it's cherrying. and and like the crank, like the round crank that you use to open the door, like just like sloughs off onto the ground, and like you.
Please be a dream.
You essentially feel like you're about to start roasting, and a shaft of light appears in the middle of this shaft, and out of it steps one of the Aurelium guards that you saw earlier.
Yeehaw! It's coming right in.
It's almost like we're not gonna die, but it's like
Yeah.
Thank you. Who always does that?
You don't want any Snickers? Try something else.
Oh no. Just one.
Take a couple. There you go. One for each hand. Go. Yeah.
So you're bad what I do.
No.
To provoke him.
Another?
It made very little difference in the ultimate outcome. It just was.
Good night.
Oh, yes, you can be. See ya. You got it. Goes right to the stairs and... Okay, I'm inside. Picks up a Snickers bar, throws it back in. Picks up a Snickers bar, throws it back in. Sweet.
Yeah, so this Aurelium guard walks in, and like you can't see his face because he has a face mask on. Most of the guards did, but you do recognize his equipment as one of the ones who was kind of looking at you strangely in the corridor earlier before their commanding officer came in. Like you can tell from his gear that he was one of those guys. He's not one of the ones that contacted anyone though. He was just watching, and he like steps out of this shaft of light and pulls off the mask. And you recognize your old friend Ragnar Cardoso.
nice.
It's like the one that you have not seen since high school, basically. It's like, and so, he's like, it's a little bit of a cliche, but come with me if you want to live.
I'm done dying for today. Get me out of here.
And, so he just sort of like guides you into the shaft of light, and you have this sensation of speed, but almost immediately, you just find yourselves at the top, being ushered away by other Aurelian guards, maybe. And Ragnar comes up after you, and
Who's Ragnar?
your friend from the
Ragnarok.
yeah.
End of days.
Like he comes up after you and puts his hand on your shoulder, leans in, and he's just like, "You're not being apprehended. I can't tell you anything now. It's not safe here. There are way too many ears. I will explain all of this. Trust me." Like, I'm just like...
Hey,
Will do.
we went towards the line.
Yeah,
We're good to go.
Wait.
It's not complaining here.
Yeah.
I'm not dead.
We trust you.
Yeah, so...
It's 96 billion degrees.
That's it. So he leads you out of the hospital, and that is the end of the adventure.
Mental stress? Check box 1.
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
Can I go back to the shipping suit Forever. Just record it. I'll just listen to it later.
Actually, you know what? Give me a physique roll.
I collapse! Whoa! -2 to my... Oh, I have 1.
Yeah, you pass out.
I love you guys.
As soon as you get to the top, even before Ragnar leans in and says anything, you just, you start to try to say something, and before
Somebody
you
catch me.
it's like, you get the words out, it's like, catch, and just pass out. Pass out, just face forward, one of the Aurelian guards manages to catch you and stumbles under your weight a little bit. It's like, okay. But, because, he does catch you, so. And a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them carry you just, because you're not helping at all, you're dead weight. So, they just carry you and lead you to wherever you're going next time.
You stay up all night, you can make another one, and we can try and do an adventure tomorrow.
I don't feel like doing that. As much as it would be fun to do another one, I don't think I have. I don't think I have another one in me that quickly. That's a little too fast.
It's a lot of work. Man.
love how this is a list of just like random names that I generated on the computer that
Nice.
in case I need to give a name quickly to someone that you guys interact with that
Slow
I
it down a
was,
little bit.
like someone that I was not expecting you guys to interact with that I'd have to create in a hurry in order for you guys to interact with. They're like, oh, they went that way. They were supposed to go the other way. Well, you're speaking to
Chuck Thompson.
yeah. So
Whoever that is.
yeah.
Nice.
So.
That was a great adventure.
Yeah.
But now I want to know what's going on.
That's the idea. Leave them wanting more.
Yeah. And I hope we can get like another.
Hopefully we'll be able to manage sessions
Yeah.
with less time between them.
Yeah. How long was this one? I mean, the last one we did between this.
Oh man, I don't remember. It was still cold. It was before summer. It was before spring because there was still snow on the ground. I think it might have been February. I think the last one we had was
February last time we did it.
yeah. Wow. So the last one was February.
8 months.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys should get in touch with Russell and then like, cause sometimes like when he doesn't like work, he could probably come up for like a week for like a day and.
Yeah. We could do a Skype game from the man cave.
Yep.
With just like me and Daniel and Russell here,
Yeah.
and then
You guys should do like.
guys.
Does it have a video too?
You can do Skype video. You can do Google video.
Let's
chat.
do. Yeah, let's do. Well, it just. I call any
Yeah.
thing
like,
Skype. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do video because it'd be fun to see you guys too.
Yeah.
And we have a big screen, so.
Yeah.
So do Daniel's.
And they're like online dice rollers and that kind of thing that you guys can use.
Nice.
Or I mean, I could roll
Halfway
for you,
done.
but like.
So, did you hear the whole story, Hattie? I'm sorry. That was great.
Just in time.
Well, we have the audio recorded, so
Yeah.
maybe it's slightly garbled. Who knows? But
The last half was like.
and then just like interrupts from trick or treaters,
Ding dong.
and just long periods of time where we're waiting, like for.
Ding dong. I got it.